Oh, good Lord. Good morning. Monday, October 16th. I have been trying to catch this. I was trying to get my recording going at the same time. Here was the perfect bar to be in this long trade that I have been waiting for forever. As you can tell, I have changed up my charts. This is not a permanent regular thing. This is just because it's moving so freaking slow that if I'm just watching the 610, the 1597, the higher time frames, I don't have anything to work with. So I took it down one notch to the 233. My highest time frame that I'm looking at is my 4181. And man, I have been just waiting for this setup. I thought about it here. I thought about it here. Then when these bars pulled away, made this small little bar far from the EMAs, did this double thing, and I was fumbling with my recorder to get it started. Yep. So I missed it. I really wanted to be in. Hold on. Let me just mark it. Right here was where I was aiming. And by the time I even could get there, it was up here, which is too close to the first area that can give us a bounce, right up in here. And I just couldn't grab it in time. It's a little frustrating, but such is life, right? So what I gotta do is be prepared for the next little pullback. Or is this just hanging out till it gets here and goes down? No. And we got higher pivots. All right. So here we are, right into the EMAs, right at the zero line. So it's like a catch-22. Do I take the long right now, right into the EMAs? No. Wait for a little bit of a pullback, a weak retracement, a pop-up, and the ability to break through the zero line. These MACDs just keep leading higher and higher. It is what I am anticipating, but maybe that's just because I want it to go up, because it just has. These MACDs going pretty strong to the upside are a really good indication for me. What I need is I can't get in while this is curling to the downside. I need a little bit of that pop. All right, here we go. I'm going for it. It's hanging out here. It's trying to pop up. I want to leave it here. Hopefully it'll grab me before it goes so I can get a little bit better. I like this bar. Close at the top. Take me with you. There we go. And I'm in. Pushes off past here. I'm going 2 ticks behind this, the bar. May have been in just a little early, but the anticipations for this to pop up are there. Right here. Lots of room to run to this zero line here. Okay. This is what I've been waiting for. This little, that's not quite the pop that I like to see to the upside. I like to see it a little bit more, but I really like how this is continuing up. You've got a lot of strength up here. You had a floor. You had a ceiling. You had the EMAs open to the downside here, but your higher time frame says this is still going up. Yes, sir. I really want to see a close up past this area. It poked up past it, but didn't close up past it before I move my risk right behind here. Take some notes on some things that I want to put in my videos for y'all. We're going to be talking about bar patterns today when I make some videos. And, you know, this popped down really hard, but we can see what happened in these. It didn't, and that's why I didn't just jump out of it. I did have my finger hovering over a close button on my 4181, but look how many times this is pulled down and not followed through. It's actually leading higher and higher. The ability to roll off the zero line here, just barely overrun the zero line here. This extreme weak pullback when all of this is happening. Yeah, I mean, really, it seems like you could have caught just almost any of these, and I catch one of the worst ones here. You know what? Which tells me I'm going to give it a shot at a better price right in here. Give me just one more tick better. Could have probably just left it sitting here. Love this reversal bar. Let's move the one with a little bit more risk on it up. Oh, freezing today. Whew. Potential for divergence here. I'm going to go back and discuss this entry in just a few minutes. I don't want to get into it right now. That was a little off, but we'll discuss that in a minute about how that happened. And I guess I'll go ahead and cover this really quick. You know, this is the 233 tick chart. I'm not used to using it a lot. I'm moving towards it whenever we are having much slower days to give me more opportunity. And so I think it just jumped the gun a little bit, not reading it 100% properly. Although I'm questioning the potential of the 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to take my first one out here and I'm going to see how this next one does. MACDs are in favor of it. What I am a little concerned with is the potential for the zero line here as we're getting up into an area that has created a bounce. We're closing in on that area. So what I have a tendency to do sometimes in these situations too is to get in a little early and then get out early. So I'm working on, okay, yes, this is, I mean, guys, I may know what I see, but I have something to improve every single day. I'm fooling myself if I don't think that I need to work on things. And I got to work on things every day. Now, there's no divergence here at all. Pulling down, this would be a good little spot to pull back into. If 3 ticks and risk on this one. I'm watching this close pretty closely. If it closes down and this little close is at the high of this previous bar and you know, at the high of this previous bar, then I am going to take an exit. That's why we watch the bars. It won't even happen now. All right. So I was able to take that first one out when I was feeling a little uncomfortable. This needs to pop up past here and close past here for me to feel super, super comfortable moving my risk. I'm considering taking this out. I feel like how this still is. And it's hard for me to want to put my risk right back here because that is a beautiful spot for it to pop back down to and then take off to the upside. So I'm just 2 ticks behind here. I think I'm pretty comfortable with taking my exit here. Let me let this count down a little bit. So let's see if we can get 1.25 points out of it. There we go. So that would be, and I'm done for the day. I got some videos I want to create. 4 points. I'd like to watch this for just a moment, just to see if this continues to pop up. Right here is great, great, great for it. It's the zero line that concerns me a little. Not that I think this zero line is going to quote-unquote hold, but we've got the zero line on the 4181, and I am just curious of what my 10946 looks like. Oh man, that's rolling 90 miles above the zero line. Yeah, well, you know, I would rather exit a little early with profits than be questioning myself. So basically, you know, what's happening is I have drawn this line here, and this line all of a sudden became a stopping point in my mind. There were a lot of areas that held up here. There is another line here that I said, well, it might give us a bounce. And it's a good chance that we could get a little bounce off of this area. It pulls down and continues up. But I'm not in the mood to wait for it. So what I'm going to do, man, I feel like my trading hasn't been too pretty, but it's still getting the job done. And that's what I need to remind myself of. So 1.25. I like the way, you know, this really could go up. Ooh. This bar right here, and I was watching it trying to develop here, and I'll go into that more in just a moment. Let me get this going. And I'm going to go into, I did go into that a little bit more. But what's happening with this type of bar right here is I see this happen all the time. And this is one of my reversal pattern bars, and I'm going to be actually creating a video over that today that's going to be part of my curriculum. The reversal patterns are extremely important. You know, you'll have triple bars, you'll have double bars, you'll have quadruple bars, you have long flags, you have flags with a close at the bottom. But this one in particular is something that I really look for, and it's where the previous bar, and remember guys, to create a pattern, you must have at least 3 bars. 2 bars is not going to cut it, because you need to see what the following bar after it happens. If I'd have made this reversal bar and this continued to push up, this reversal bar doesn't mean jack after that. So with something like this, you've got the previous bar that comes up right here. This next bar is created. It flags up above that high, but it closes at that high. Then the next bar, which this has 1,284 ticks, it could absolutely change. The next bar starts at the high and closes down lower. So we have a little bit of some patterns going on here as it's getting up towards a resistance area. It tells me that we could have gotten a little bit of a pullback, and I'm not willing to wade through that. As for this, once again, I'm doing a little bit of work with the 233. I definitely saw an entry point back here. I wanted to get in back here because of the same type of look here. Saw an entry opportunity here, 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 and all of these would have been fine because your risk would be back behind the area. Now, if you want to make sure that you're taking it at a spot that is much more warm and fuzzy and cozy, it's when the MACDs start to lead higher with the price. The roll off of the 0 line here is just like, take me! So, yeah, and here you can see where this third bar, as you're watching it, watching this tick counter is important whenever you're looking at bar patterns, because they will change. Also, I have my live MACD dot on, so when this moves, and I look for patterns in the MACDs, but I look for it as it's getting closer and closer down to 0 to tell me if that's really what we're looking for it to happen. So, you know, on the 1597, we're getting down to 900 ticks. We wanted to get closer to it in order to really get an idea of what the pattern is telling us. So hopefully that makes sense for y'all. I'm going to give some more information. I'm about to go create some videos over these bar patterns, how you look at them, in relation to the EMAs. Yeah, I've got a ton of videos I want to create, and it's going to take some time. But guys, once it's done, we're going to be rocking this market together. Also, just a reminder, next week, no, the week after. Next week, my kids have a half day on Thursday. They're out on Friday. Why, I don't know, after we just had 2.5 weeks being out for hurricanes. And then the following week, I will be with one of my students for the entire week. If anyone is interested in maybe a situation like that, let me know. Get in touch with me, motivated.trader.love@gmail.com. And I don't like to do more than one of those in a month. They're kind of exhausting. I love them, but, you know, it's 24/7, not 24/7. It's more like 8 to 5 of us looking at this market together and really breaking things down in order to help you understand. So it's kind of a, I don't know, I don't want to say a fast track, but something that can get you to that next step. At least that's what I've been told. So I hope y'all have a fabulous Monday. I know that so far I have. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.